Welcome. We are glad that you can join us today for the NTTV News at Noon. I'm Adam Blackhall here from the University of North Texas in Denton. You know, it's such a rainy day today here in Denton. We are definitely ready for some sun. It has been 2 weeks of warm, rainy weather, and tonight may bring severe thunderstorms. Stay tuned to NTTV for more updates on the weather situation. Today's top stories focus on UNT will soon launch 4 institutions of research excellence. Faculty and industry experts will combine their knowledge on projects that create a stronger platform for research between disciplines. These partnerships will create solutions and contribute to the North Texas region's economic growth. And also, design students at UNT are completing a class project by upcycling products while helping out the Denton County Friends of the Family. But first, even though UNT's homecoming game ended in disappointment with a big loss to FCS opponent Portland State, it was a huge success for North Texas Television, who put together an HD broadcast for the first time. A few days prior to the game, we met up with NTTV Assistant Sports Director Tanner Long.
My name is Tanner Long. I am the Assistant Sports Director here at NTTV, and I will be producing the upcoming homecoming football game. Well, growing up, when I was a kid, I started playing football at a young age, around 7. And I've always been a big football fan, and eventually I kept playing football, but my passion for sports came through just flipping through the channels and being like, oh, this is interesting. So it started as just liking football, and then it just kind of expanded from there. You know, most people can't say that in college they have produced a Division I football game while they were still a student. Just looking back on all the opportunities I've had here at NTTV, I think it'll really help me in the future getting a job afterwards, saying, yeah, I've had experience doing this, you know, listing stuff off. It's essential, you know, essential for getting a job later in life. We've covered a few of them before. Our last one that we covered was the spring game, but our last regular season game was in 2013 whenever we had a 9-win season for the Mean Green, and they ended up winning that game over Middle Tennessee State. We have a little bit of everything from for everyone. We have camera operators, we have audio technicians, we have spotters, play-by-play, color commentary, replay, utility runner. I mean, pretty much all the positions you would have for a big national broadcast, but just on a little bit of a smaller scale. Our director will be Chris Everett. Chris has been here, I believe, 4 years, been a great volunteer, and I think he'll do a fantastic job directing the game.
Oh, I am absolutely honored. I have worked very hard for this. I started literally at the bottom as a lowly cameraman and worked my way up, and to be given this opportunity is just the utmost honor, and I owe everything to NTTV for giving me this opportunity to show that to showcase what I feel I have deserved to be able to do.
And while sports are prevalent at UNT, other student organizations also prosper, including UNT Improv. Prominent member Nathaniel Aaron shares some of his experiences.
My name is Nathaniel Aaron. Okay, so this, I'd say the reason improv is important to my life kind of goes back to why I started it. I'm an RTVF student. When I came here, I'm mainly into cameras and things like that. I want to be a cinematographer. So I thought it would be nice to kind of just pick up some acting background. I was like, oh, improv, this seems kind of fun. It's a little bit different. So I joined, and I went to the first meeting. A lot of the people seemed really cool. They seemed very open. One of the things that that really struck me was like the very first thing that they said at the first meeting I went to was like, we're really against like race jokes and things like that. I was like, oh, that's really cool. These people, you know, aren't just like, they're really open-minded, things like that. So then I started hanging out with them. They were really nice. They invited me to have dinner with them afterwards. And we just started hanging out, and that kind of created my friend groups here at UNT. So that's kind of how I got involved, and then ever since, most of my friends I've kind of met through UNT Improv, so it's kind of what made UNT feel like a home to me. So oddly enough, there's actually two different kinds of improv that you can kind of break things up of. The first is short form, which is more of a whose line is it anyways kind of format. Short, more witty games, more like puns, quick to the joke. The other kind of actual it's called long form. It's more based around like stage presence, things like that. Something you wouldn't necessarily see on TV, and instead of maybe doing a 1 or 2 minute game, it's more like a 10 or 15 minute improvised play, and I actually enjoy that a lot more. Ooh, okay, so I'd have to say my least favorite improv games are any of the weird quirk games, specifically being the guesser. I always end up I'm not very super into like pop culture and things like that, so it's very hard for me to, I get like Miley Cyrus, I'm like, I don't know who Miley Cyrus is, so it's very challenging for me to pick up on what other people are doing. Ooh, my favorite Who's Line Is It Anyway performer would probably be Colin. It's been a while since I've seen the show, but I think he's the bald guy, I believe. It's, yeah, Colin, I definitely have to say.
We'll be back in a moment to talk with current UNT student Juan Romo about the parking situation here on campus. And welcome back to the NTTV News at Noon. I'm Adam Blackhall, and I'm here today with Juan Romo, a current UNT student, also a commuter. So, Juan, exactly how does that experience go in terms of finding parking on campus?
Well, finding parking has been hell this semester. The previous 2 semesters, it's been less hell, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this semester has been pretty bad.
So what time of the day do you typically have to wake up in the morning and able to drive in from, where are you from, Fort Worth, I believe?
Yes, I commute from Fort Worth on Monday and Wednesday. My first class is at 9, so I don't have a problem waking up at, 8 or 7:30 to be here, like around 8:30ish around there. But the big issue for me is on Tuesday and Thursday where I only have a class at 11 o'clock. So, the first week I was like, yeah, I'll wake up at 9, leave at 9:30, get there like by 10 something, and I should be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But nope.
Not so much, huh?
Nope. I drove around for 50 minutes. I couldn't find a parking spot. I had to park on a meter for 1 hour, and our class is like an hour and 20 minutes, so I had to leave early. I was like, man, this is stupid,
Well, that's certainly something that most people wouldn't want to have to deal with when they're trying to commute to campus. Do you have a personal worst story in terms of
yes,
trying to find parking on campus?
That was my worst story.
That was your worst?
I was stressed. I was like, it was like the first week. You don't. It's not like high school. You can miss the first week, but I was like, I really don't want to miss anything. But that happened to me, and unfortunately, I had to dodge out of class, and I really didn't want to do that, but due to the parking issue, I had to, I felt bad, but, I've made adjustments. I leave my house every day by 7:30 to be here to get a parking spot.
So how do you think the university could improve the parking situation so commuters like you, and UNT is a big commuter school, don't have such trouble finding a place to park so they can do something as simple as go to class?
Well, it's easy. Just don't sell more parking permits that there are parking spots, pretty much. Either that or, create some carpooling system, because, that's not going to fix itself. We don't want any more construction on this campus. Nope.
So, just one last quick question. What would you do to improve the situation personally? Do you just have to wake up earlier?
Yes, that's what I can control. I have to wake up early. That's the only thing I can control. Other than that, that's what I do. Yeah.
Well, that's certainly not what most college students want to hear, but perhaps it's the truth.
Unfortunately.
Appreciate you joining us for this interview. We'll be back with NTTV News at noon in just a minute. Please stick with us. North Texas Television provides many opportunities for UNT students. Hands-on experience is a fitting description. So behind me is the Media Arts Building, which is home to several organizations, including North Texas Television. Now, NTTV is student-run and student-operated, so it gives a lot of hands-on opportunities for students such as ourselves. Here's some clips of some of the great programming that NTTV produces.
Welcome to Late Night in North Texas.
Texas now.
Off the top.
Political center.
Yes, let me go get that right now.
Well, the problem with the uniformity is the fact that now you're looking at 5 candidates and they all sound exactly the same. Who's not good at this?
Oh, this is really hot, guys.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't.
This is really good, though. It's spicy, but this tastes really good.
When we come back, we'll be on campus to take a look at the University Union, which has just entered its soft opening phase. So behind me is the University Union, which is soft opened this semester to students here at the University of North Texas. Now, while some features will not open until the full opening this upcoming spring, such as the Burger King and the Taco Bueno, many of the food options, such as Chick-fil-A, Crispy Chicken, Which, and a couple of the food court options have opened. All of the organizations, for the most part, have opened as well, including the University Post Office, Wells Fargo, and many student-run organizations. I'm Adam Blackhall, and thanks for joining us today on the NTTV News at noon. We'll see you again tomorrow.